In this video, I aim to show you the new structures and the new Sentinel mini-boss that are introduced in RealismCraft 2.0. If you wish to see all of the new blocks, items and mobs, or the new end, or the new transport options in RealismCraft 2.0, then look out for the other videos I'm going to be posting. Or if you want to wait and see it all in one mega long video, then about an hour after this video is posted, I will post the mega long video showing absolutely everything in one video. For anyone who isn't aware, RealismCraft is a complete reimagining of what Minecraft looks like, and has made massive changes to textures, animations, world generation, sound, and the overall atmosphere of the game. There have been many updates to the game with overhauls of new biomes, a new nether, and new beautiful visual effects. This now with Realism 2.0 is the largest update ever, and it's designed to seamlessly blend stunning visual enhancements with rich, expanded gameplay to completely reimagine how you experience Minecraft as a whole. With RealismCraft 2.0, when you start a brand new world, Spark Universe hope that you are going to experience a visually stunning version of Minecraft that has been built to immerse you fully in the world and fuel your lust for adventure. Change is truly on the cards, with every biome being overhauled, every mob behaving or moving more realistically, and the world being full of new structures, items, and mobs to discover. Every new addition that has been added to RealismCraft 2.0 has been carefully designed to be integrated into Minecraft's progression, and to be a meaningful addition to the gameplay. This altogether results in a version of Minecraft that is hopefully more expansive, alive, and visually stunning, while also staying faithful to the Minecraft game's core charm. So I've spawned into a brand new creative world, and before we begin this video, I just want to say a massive thank you to Spark Universe for giving me early access to the RealismCraft 2.0 update. This is not a sponsored video, and I want to stress that, but I am a massive fan of RealismCraft in general, and to be given the opportunity to get early access is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much to Spark Universe. So we're going to be taking a look at pretty much everything that's new in the overworld in terms of how the world's spawning, the structures that spawn, how it looks, and we're going to look at the new Sentinel boss in this dynamic world. So to begin with then, one of the big features that they've added is custom biome sky colors. So as you can see here in this biome, whichever biome this is, the Badlands biome I guess, we've got a kind of pinky purple background. If we go back this way, I'll show you again. So as we're in a river, it goes blue. But as we go into the Badlands biome, it does change to be a more kind of heated, hot style with that pinky purple. And then if we pop through over here to this, I think it's like a jungle biome here, in fact, we can see we get a different color. It's a brighter blue out here. So we've got that background biome just trying to build up the atmosphere of what we're doing. Let's go across here and see, do we get anything else on this side as well? Maybe we will, maybe we won't. It's quite bright blue right now. Obviously, there are VFX settings that you can adjust as well if it's not to your liking. We're going to go on to here, which is like a beach. How are we looking here on the beach? So it stays bright blue. I kind of expected more color as we were going around. I always like these kind of elements, so these are quite nice. But in terms of the biome colors and the backgrounds, I did expect it to change a little bit more. I wanted to see more greens. I wanted to see more effects in general. And then one thing as well that kind of happens, I don't know if we're going to see it because I might have spawned all of this in. Yeah, this. We get a lot of the world popping in as we're flying around. Now, I am using an early access copy. I think I've mentioned it a few times in various areas, but you can see this is a jungle biome because there's a jungle temple over there. And yet the biome pops in because of how it's being written by RealismCraft. Now, this could be early access. This could be the fact it's in a realm. This could be the fact that I'm using it on a PS5 when this copy is for PC. So that could all be having effects. I'm in creative, so I am holding back judgment on that. But I will say it is a little bit jarring in how it pops in. I've seen it in add-ons that do structure generations. And so it is quite like standard for what we're dealing with at the moment. But if you were running through like this, you wouldn't notice it. Obviously, I spot it because I'm in creative and I'm flying over, and that seems to be a problem of me a lot, not necessarily the content that I'm looking at. But you do notice it, like as it pops in. It's not quite with the render distance. It's kind of on top of, and so it is kind of apparent, and it does become a little bit jarring. It does become a little bit immersion breaking. But like I say, I'm reserving judgment on that for now. Just want to make sure you guys know that I have seen it and I'm not ignoring it because I've been given early access. That's not the case here. Also, I don't think I've said it in most of my other videos, but this isn't a sponsored video. I've just been given early access and they haven't asked me to say anything. They haven't asked me to do anything. They haven't paid me or anything like that. This is all, as usual, 100% my own opinion as we're flying through, but not noticing a ton when it comes to the biome colors. We seem to be stuck in a jungle right now, which is a little bit crazy. There's a massive jungle here. So what we're going to do, we're going to spawn to 10,000, 10,000 and have a fly around and just see. So we're in an ice spikes biome. I came here for the transport video. So if you haven't seen that, you'll find out when you see that what that waystone is. And okay, so we get that more kind of icy white biome color here. It's a very softer blue. I don't know. I kind of expected it to be a bit more prominent with the sky colors, but I mean, it is what it is right there. And then on top of that, oh, we could go into a spruce snowy forest here, see what's happening. And then, yeah, look, see, you see how it's generating in, just as I was saying before. But when you're down on here, you're not noticing it as much. So it definitely becomes a lot easier to stomach, which is cool. So that's all right, I guess. If we go into spectator mode, which is going to make rendering even more, there are 3 new cave biomes that are added. So there's an arid cave, there's a frozen cave, and there's a dripstone cave. And so I want to see what these look like. And I don't know if I'm going to get these right, but I think I might, because this looks very much like a dripstone cave. Now, what I want to do, not a dripstone cave, sorry, a frozen cave. So if I go and get night vision, obviously there is a miner's helmet, but we can just use this. It's easier. We'll light this up. So we've got a frozen cave. It's giving us a lot of frozen ice spikes and ice crystals, which is cool. I will admit, when I saw the ice crystals in the creative menu, I did think they were going to be more end related than cave related. But you'll see in the end overhaul video that I did how that looks. So yeah, just adjusting how the caves look, how they spawn, how they fit in with the overworld above them, I guess. If we go up to spectator again, we are in the cold biome still, are we? Yeah, there is snow on the overworld. And we see, yeah, look, we got the caves spawning here. They are broken again. Not broken, sorry, they're like shattered. They are spreading out. Look at that. Look at that cave network. Wow. Okay. I like that. I think that's awesome. Look how vast that is as well. That's mad. All right, this I like, for real. I really do like this. I really like how effective that looks from afar there as well. That's really strong. Okay, so that's the frozen cave, and that's an example, just in case we don't see an arid cave or a dripstone cave. That is an example of what element changes they're doing to caving here. We can go around a bit more. Look, even the mine shaft. The mine shaft has got cold elements to it as well, so it mixes in with vanilla structures. These biomes are huge, by the way. Look at how huge this cold biome is right now. Underground in spectator mode. Okay, I'm going to fly around. I'm going to try and find a dripstone or an arid cave, but I don't even know what arid means. But yeah, okay. We've got here as well, more stuff spawning in. Bones. There's tons of stuff here. Alright, let me go and try and find an arid cave, and we'll see what we can get. I'm not there because I'm in spectator mode. I forgot about that. Where's an arid cave? So I've been able to find an arid cave then, and basically an arid cave is something that spawns underneath the desert biomes, and it actually introduces the new sand block, which is the dark sand and the dark sandstone, as well as elements with these bone blocks here as well. And it just gives off the fact that we are in a hot biome and that sand pretty much gets everywhere. Look at this. as we're spawning it in. It does let other standard cave generation happen as well, so there will be a bit of a mix, but again, look at how effective that is. With that desert background color, that orangey, yellowy, warmth color that we've got, we can see the sand mixing around. There's a diamond over there as well. Keep an eye on that. And then, yeah, you've got the spawners in here with some bone blocks mixing around. So, yeah, we've got cave biomes. Now, obviously, they're not VFX heavy. They're not crazy lag generating. But we do have cave biomes, and I think this is a brilliant expansion of the overworld. Like, look at that. That desert wasteland mixed in with that cave generation that we've got in Minecraft, just adding that newer stuff into the world. And it keeps that warmth color as well. Obviously, we have got night vision potion on, so that's going to be doing some bits here to make it look very, very bright. But it is here, and this is cool. Again, another very strong, very good effect of a cave. And the reason why it's good to me isn't just because it's changing some stuff, but because it adds variation. Caving can be so boring. Going spelunking can be so boring because you just see the same things over and over and over again. But here we're seeing actual biomes to it. And there's a reason to come here, because you can get the dark sand, you can get the dark sandstone. That's what I want. So I'm going to go and try and find, I'm still not here, there you go, you can see my beard. I'm going to go and try and find a dripstone cave now, so bear with me. So for the dripstone caves, I've been unable to work out whether or not they're in addition to or an upgrade to the standard vanilla dripstone caves. But what I have seen is that when you know you've got there is because there are limestone deposits all over the place, right? So there will be limestone blocks all over the place. There will be an aquifer, which I think is like, or an aquifer system, which is like basically this, where there's water around. And you will see limestone around as well, which is, if you haven't seen the blocks video yet, is this video here. So we can get limestone. So again, another reason to come here is for this stuff. And we've got tons of dripstone blocks. Like I say, I don't quite know if it's in addition to or an upgrade to the standard dripstone biomes or dripstone caves that you get, but you can definitely see sprinkled in, we've got the limestone around. We've got a lot of water around here as well. I don't think this one is as effective as the frozen or the arid. My favorite by far is the frozen, and then arid is quite a distant second from frozen, but also quite a distant second ahead of the dripstone as well. I'm glad that we saw the frozen one first. We've got green water here as well from the biomes. You can see where it's changed blue to green as well. So yeah, that's going to be the biomes. That's going to be how the world kind of generates and spawns in. Let's go and find ourselves the Sentinel arena and let's see what the new mini boss looks like. So I'm standing outside of a Sentinel arena now, and we're going to see it here. We've got the Sentinel sitting on top looking massive. And one thing that we need to say, first of all, this is an overworld boss, right? It's not on the level of the Ender Dragon. It's definitely not supposed to be on the level of the Wither as far as I know. It's kind of, in my opinion, and I've not been told this by anyone, but it's kind of the feeling I get. It's like a step above the Guardian, in my opinion. And so with that, you kind of have to take into consideration the loot that you would expect to get here. So what we should do, go into spectator real quick. Now, potential arachnophobia warning for this section, because there are spawners in here and they are for cave spiders. So just bear that in mind. If they do spawn, there will be cave spiders here for a little bit of time. And if we go and check out the loot, so we've got ender pearls, iron ingot, sticky pistons, gold, an amplified potion of leaping, and a diamond pickaxe, which is quite a beefy one there, to be fair, with it. So that's not bad. If we go down again, there should be another one down here as well. And we're going to go into creative and hit this. And we've got golden apples, lapis lazuli, pistons, and some more diamond and diamond boots as well. So like I say, it's not exactly OP. It's not exactly game breaking. We're not talking end game level loot, but we are talking some good loot, I think, for at least coming here once or twice. And then, so if we go into survival now, we're going to see if we can trigger this boss fight. So he's set up there, all ominous and scary. We're in survival, and it immediately starts to rain as we get near. Now, what's it going to do? Now, apparently there's supposed to be like a wake up animation. Is that on this sound? He's all coppery. Okay. I've been given mining fatigue 6, which doesn't even let you fight. There's like a lightning strikes to him. Quite a few lightning strikes to him here. But okay. I mean, he looks very ominous. He looks very scary up here. I'm going to have a bit of a toy around. I'm going to see if I can get this to work. I think me being in creative and spectator, I've probably bugged it. So let's see if I can get one that works. Unfortunately, I'm only just going to be able to show you the Sentinel here and how he sits on the Sentinel arena. So when you get close, the boss bar appears, and I can show you when you go into survival that a storm will rage. Now, this is supposed to cue a startup animation. And he would wake up, you'd have the sound, and then you'd go into the first of a multiple phase battle. Now, in the first phase, I'm going to go back into creative real quick. In the first phase, the Sentinel will push the player with its hand and can destroy blocks that are in the way of the attack. You are also given mining fatigue 6, which basically lasts forever, and that's to make sure that you go through with the fight and that you don't just try and cheese the loot inside. You do have to fight the guy, so just bear that in mind as well. When you've done enough damage to the Sentinel's head, I believe is supposed to be the weak point, you go into the second phase. The second phase is now a circular area of effect attack. During the attack, its weak point is hidden, preventing the player from dealing any damage. So it's got some good animations to it when you can get it to work. I'm a little bit frustrated that I can't get it to work, but I think that's my own fault. Playing in survival, playing in creative even, sorry. It also has a continuous laser beam attack which can set fire to both the ground and the player. One Sentinel will spawn on top of a Sentinel arena, and the Sentinel arena will spawn in a jungle biome. So just bear that in mind and have fun trying to fight this guy. When I get the full version, I will definitely try and take him on, I'm sure. Now, one of the new structures that I added to RealismCraft 2.0 is hopefully one of this that I've just found here. Now, I believe this is the Trident Temple, and it comes in 3 different variations. And here is a guaranteed way to get a trident. Now, this building will be defended by guardians and will have 1 guaranteed trident in it, along with some other loot. And it won't always look like this if this is actually what I think it is, but I've been looking for an hour now and this is the closest I could see for what it is. So when you go inside, there'll be a chest here with a block on top that you'll break, and inside you'll have some loot and a trident. Now, this trident has impaling too, so there is a chance to get an enchanted trident. And then if you go downstairs, we'll have more loot in here with some more ocean themed loot for us, which is all good. And then if we go up here and we go around here, there is a way somewhere, if I can work out how to do this. That was scary how he just came through there. Okay, that just gave me a little heart attack. But on this side, we've got a spawner with some guardians. And then also on this side, we've got a spawner with some guardians. And to get down to the bottom, you'd want to go through here, down here, pop past the guardian, thank you very much, and swim underneath, which it doesn't seem to want to let me do because of my creative status, so that's cool. Get through here, there we go. Now, there we go. And then swim around and explore underwater where there will be sponges and there will be the loot that I spoke about as well. In the desert, there are also 2 new structures in the shapes of a tomb and in the shapes of an excavation site. Now, with the tomb, there are supposed to be 4 versions of it, and 2 of them have a surface entrance and 2 of them are completely hidden. I was unable to find any of them, and there is also the excavation site which I was unable to find, which just means that they are quite rare. What I did find though was a vanilla structure that had actually been updated with newer blocks. So the desert temple can spawn in both the usual vanilla version and in a version that has updated with new blocks that have been added for RealismCraft. Not sure if this was a RealismCraft 1.0 or 2.0 update, but I thought I'd mention it here, as well as mentioning that there are tombs and excavation sites that I was unable to find. Another one of the new structures that have been added in for RealismCraft 2.0 is the farmhouse here as well, which is cool. And apparently this is going to be surrounded by blocks of salt. We're going to have bits of farmland here for us to just look at. We've got crates, we've got mobs around here. So make sure you check out that mobs, armors, weapons, items video or section if you're watching the mega long video to see all of those in close quarters. But it's a nice little house. It's quite quaint. One thing they've done as well is that they've really reduced down the number of structures that spawn in a short period of time or in a short space. So it's a lot easier, a lot more difficult to find structures, and a lot easier to get immersed into the world and actually feel like you're in a world that's lived in but not overwhelmed, to be honest with you. And I am struggling to find a few of these other structures. So we are looking for a lumberjack cabin and an engineer hut. There's also a druid tree, which I'm struggling to find. But I have to be honest with you, 3 hours looking for structures is not my way of spending a Friday night. So I'm going to try and look again, and we'll probably find one more structure, and then that'll be it for this video. But so far, I've liked the structures that we've seen. I've just been a little bit disappointed with some of the bugs that have been appearing, knowing full well, like I say, early access and some of my own limitations that could be causing this. But let's try and find either an engineer hut or a lumberjack cabin. All right, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it there. 3.5 hours looking for structures that I can't find. They have definitely turned down the spawn rates for structures. And I do agree with that from a gameplay experience, but as a YouTube content creator that's trying to show some stuff off to you while also balancing a whole lot of jobs, this is not an easy thing to do. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to show you the tombs. I haven't been able to show you the excavation areas. I haven't been able to show you the engineer hut, the lumberjack cabin, or the druid tree. So there are a few other structures that you will experience for yourself or you'll see in other people's videos, I'm sure. So how do I feel about this overall dynamic world? Well, this is the last video that I'm recording, so that's why it's pushing closer and closer. That's why I'm going to have to call it there. So I've experienced all of it. There are a few bugs, there are a few rough patches that, again, I've said it multiple times, early access, PS5, Realm, that it's supposed to be on PC. So a lot of these things could be me. A lot of these things could be the early access copy. I'm playing in creative. I'm playing in spectator mode. I'm flying around. So a few of these bugs need to be taken with a pinch of salt. I have fed everything back to the developers that I could. So hopefully anything that is a legitimate bug will be fixed. I still really, really do like the RealismCraft overall experience. I think it's something that is just not available anywhere else. It's massive, it's awesome, it's huge, it's brilliant. So if you haven't gone and seen the blocks, the mobs, the armors, the items, go and check out that video. If you haven't seen the end overhaul, go and check out that video. If you haven't seen the travel options that they've added into this, go and check out that video as well. I still think this is great. I do think that there is elements that can be improved. That cow's coming to get me now, which isn't awesome. So stay away, Mr. Cow. I do think there are things that need to be improved. I do think that there are some things that are just a little bit still too rough, or they could be updated to be awesome. But I mean, at some point they're going to update this to the point where it's not going to be able to be played on certain devices. So I understand there are limitations there as well. I think it's great. I think it's awesome. And I am reserving a lot of judgments for that final release that comes out on Tuesday, the 26th of August. So that will be telling to see what kind of content that we get as the final package. But if you've watched the whole Mega Thread video, let me know down in the comments what you think of the entire pack. If you've only watched this section or the structure section, let me know what you think about the world spawning, what you think about the structures in general, and please do leave a like on the video. I'm sorry about the bugs, I'm sorry about not being able to show all of the structures. Please do hit the subscribe button if you're new, and do make sure you check out the other videos. There is a ton of content. It's probably about 3 hours long in general, so do check them out, or do check out the massive long video if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.